Hey everybody, this is going to be a quick video on how to get your store up and running in Eco. So the first thing you'll do is you'll go over to your workbench. It's just called a store. And when you find that, you'll need some rock and some wood. And then it takes a few minutes to build. But once you have that, the only requirement is it has to be placed inside of a room. So originally when I built this big old ugly house, I had one room over here. I just built a couple walls next to that room, and now I have this one that can be my store. Okay. Important things with the store is people need to be able to reach it. Okay, so I don't have a door on this. If I wanted to, I could leave this open. It doesn't really hurt anything to just have people be able to run inside and hit the store. But you can also set it up so that from the outside, as long as somebody can see it, they can press E on it and they can open it up. Obviously, if they have to like jump and look through the window, that's annoying. Don't make your friends do that. But anyway, when I go inside to my store, there's a couple of very important things I need to do with it. If I can get through this door. Okay, so my store wants, right, I want things in this game, right? So let's pretend that I want some fish. Okay, there's a bunch of different types of fish. Let's say that I just want to look at these different types, okay? I want to buy bass, or you know what, we'll do a salmon. We're going to click on this. We're going to hit submit. Now, it says that I want $999 for $0. When I click on this, I can now set the price. Okay, I'm willing to pay, let's say I'll pay $3 for a fish, but I don't want to spend all my money on fish. I don't want someone to actually bring me 999 salmon. So let's say I only want to buy 25 of them. That's about as much fish as I really want. I set the limit right there. Okay, then once you kind of enter off, you'll see, boom. I already have 4 in my storage. That's why this number is lower. The max that I want to have is 25. I already have 4 salmon though, so I'll buy 21 more if somebody were to wander over. Okay. The things I want to sell. Okay, I'll click on this. Let's say that I want to sell some hewn logs. Okay, I'll click on hewn log. I can submit that. Let's say that I want the price to be we'll say $5. Okay. Now the reserve is how much I want to keep for myself. So pretend that I have 100 hewn logs, but I don't want to sell every single one that I have. I want to keep some of those to maybe build something. So let's say that I keep a reserve of 50. Okay. Now, since I don't have 50, it's going to say it's out of stock. But if I had more hewn log over here, it looks like right now I only have 17, right? It's not going to sell it unless I change my reserve to a smaller amount. So if I sell it for 15, we just saw that I had 17. Once this updates, it should say, yep, I can sell 2 hewn log before I say that I'm out of stock. So that's kind of how you set up your store. The last thing is with the credit, you want to pick a currency. I would recommend everybody just use my currency. Because it gets really confusing when it's like, oh, here's Eco 50's currency and Eco 20's currency, right? We should all try and use the same currency. That way, it's a little bit less confusing. So you can choose which currency you want to use in our world. You can choose like GJ Simpson's currency. And I would recommend that. So that is how you get your store up and running. One last thing, right? The status of your store is, the only rule is it has to be inside of a room. It has to have an owner, it has to be placed on solid ground, and then it just has to be in a room that's like 18 meters cubed, which, you know, is not that big. So with all that being said, that is how you get your store up and running. Hopefully we can get a lot of stores up and running in the future so that we can buy and sell stuff with each other a little bit easier. Have a good one.